half a day. In our gospel today, a scribe approaches Jesus and asks him about the first of all the commandments. In response to the question, Jesus presents the essence of God's will for us, which is to love. That is, we are to love God and love our neighbor. Note that Jesus did not choose a commandment from one of the 10. Perhaps that would have been a more natural or more expected answer. But instead, he points to a law mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy and another one from Leviticus. What could be the reason for this? If we reflect on the nature of the 10 commandments, we will see that most of them are actually prohibitions. You shall not steal, you shall not kill, you shall not bear false witness. The rest, on the other hand, are precepts, which are quite restrictive. Keep the Sabbath holy, and so do not do anything improper. Honor your father and mother, and so do not do anything disrespectful. In other words, these 10 commandments point to prohibitions and restrictions that indicate the necessary conditions so that one will not rupture one's relationship with God. Now, in his answer, Jesus chose instead positive and dynamic precepts which push us forward. Love, he said in the gospel, with all your heart. I don't think there's anyone who can stop growing in this regard of loving with all one's heart, of loving one's neighbor without limits. It must be noted too that the question concerned only one commandment, the first, but in his response, Jesus added a second, love your neighbor, and then Jesus unites this too by saying that there is no other commandment greater than these. What Jesus is trying to point out here is that the love of neighbor is inseparable from the love of God. If we love our neighbor, then we truly love God. If we don't love our neighbor, then we cannot claim to be loving God. Indeed, our attitude towards our neighbor confirms the quality of our attitude towards God. This call to love God and neighbor resounds especially in this time that we are dealing with the pandemic, that is COVID-19. While we are naturally concerned about ourselves and our loved ones, we are also called to be attentive to the affected, the vulnerable, the needy in our community, and to practice charity. In this regard, I appeal to your kind and generous hearts to support and to donate to Caridad, so that our church can come to the aid of those needing assistance during this period of crisis. As disciples of Jesus, we do not have any other goal except to grow in love. For us Christians, there is no other commandment. We are to love the Lord our God and love our neighbor. God bless you.